Hey Yappers! Today's episode is all about Netflix's latest rom-com, My Oxford Year. We yap about the origin story of the book and this film, some of the issues that we took with the plot and the acting, and admittedly, the scenes that had us tearing up by the end. Let's get started. Hello fellow Yappers, I'm Ruchi.
And I'm Shalini, and we're your hosts of Binge, Yap, Repeat.
We're two best friends who spend an embarrassing amount of time binge-watching TV, and honestly, we just need to talk about it. If you're here, we're guessing you do too.
Fair warning, this is a spoiler-friendly zone. We will be discussing lots of spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the show yet, hit pause, go binge, and come back when you're ready to yap with us.
And now, it's yap time. Hello, Yappers.
Hello, and welcome to the Oxford Comma.
The Oxford comma.
Your go-to podcast for all things Oxford and all things grammar.
Oh yeah, welcome to Binge, comma, yap, comma, repeat. Today we'll be discussing My Oxford Year, which is, actually this is the first movie that the two of us are covering, right?
That is true, because you did K-pop Demon Hunters with Izzy, and I did Echo Valley with my sister. And those are the only two movies we
Yeah.
did? Whoa, okay.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, how exciting. Cool, yeah, so My Oxford Year is about an ambitious American student named Ana de la Vega who travels to Oxford in England to fulfill her dream, but encounters a charming local named Jamie who changes both of their lives. This stars Sophia Carson as Anna and Corey Milchrist? I don't know.
Milchrist?
Milchrist.
That guy. I'm going to guess Milchrist.
I think so too. Yeah. Corey Milchrist as Jamie. So, Shalini, what did you think?
Okay, before I get into overall thoughts, the way you said Ana de la Vega reminded me of Rogelio de la Vega.
That was my inspo.
Amazing.
From Jane the Virgin.
Yes.
Yes.
Rogelio, my love. Okay, yeah, I will be so honest with you. I did not like this movie. I thought it was a huge waste of time. A few issues, I think. One, the pacing felt a bit rushed. Like, I guess because I watch more TV than movies these days, maybe it just didn't feel right that, like, they fell in love so quickly, and she got this, like, great group of friends so quickly, and all of these things. So that was one issue. I also thought Sophia Carson's acting was pretty bad. There was this one Reddit comment that was like, I feel like she always has a being interviewed by Vogue voice.
Just always speaking like this.
I
blah,
see
blah,
that.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm always talking like this. Jamie, you should listen to your dad.
Daddy.
Zaddy. No, he was not Zaddy. So, I did not love it. Those are my overall thoughts.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, so actually, I have a fun fact for you that I think would be relevant for the rest of the discussion.
Okay.
So my fun fact is that the movie, My Oxford Year, it started as a screenplay that there's a writer, Alison Burnett, originally came up with the screenplay and then asked Julia Whelan for help on the screenplay. And while they were collaborating on this screenplay together, Julia Whelan is like, actually, I'm going to write a novel based on the screenplay. So she goes off, she writes the novel, My Oxford Year, and then the screenplay becomes what we know as the film, My Oxford Year. So you know how it's really interesting how we're like, oh, like this is a film based on this book, blah, blah, blah. Actually, in this case, it's like the book is an adaptation of the screenplay that becomes the movie that we know. Is that interesting?
That's insane. I wonder if that's common. That must not be that common.
I don't think it's not common at all. I think it's definitely very unique. But let me just fact check this. I think the book did come out in 2018. Yes. So My Oxford Year, the book by Julia Whelan, came out in 2018. And the movie My Oxford Year obviously came out 2025, August 1st, 2025. So yeah, 7-year difference, but it is actually the case that the screenplay came first.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't blame it on bad book adapting.
Bad writers are everywhere, so.
True. True.
But I will say that the book is super different from the movie.
Ooh.
So here are some differences. Instead of Sophia Carson playing Ana de la Vega, who is from New York City, getting a master's degree before returning to her job at Goldman Sachs, the main character is named Eleanor Durand. I think she goes by Elle. And she is a student from Ohio who spends a year at Oxford before returning to the States to consult on a political campaign. She's also like Midwestern and white, which is also a pretty big difference, I think, culturally, especially from the States. And let me see. In the book, the ending is also super, super different. So in the book, Jamie's immune system actually overcomes pneumonia, and then he participates in a clinical trial that actually prolongs his life. So the trial does allow him to fulfill his dream of traveling across Europe with Eleanor. Yeah.
So he doesn't die?
I mean, unclear. It says the book leaves off. Oh, and this is all from a People article. The book leaves off on a more ambiguous note. Eleanor explains that she and Jamie weren't meant to be together. So, given all of that, like, what do you actually think about the book ending versus the film ending?
I knew he was gonna die, so I think it would have been a nice, refreshing surprise if he didn't die. And I was like, oh, it's a happy ending. Okay, great. But then I also maybe in that case would have been like, so then what was the point? Like, they fell in love. The end.
Wow, Shalini.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think one of my main issues with the movie was that there were just so many stereotypical plot lines. And they didn't even like lean into it in the self-aware way. They just like really just did it. And so, yeah, maybe if he had lived, I wouldn't have felt that way, but I really felt like it was giving, first of all, Me Before You. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
And then also From Scratch, that Netflix series from a few years ago, where
I think I know that one.
Okay, the story is, let me know if this sounds familiar. This American goes to Italy. I think it was to study abroad, perhaps. Or maybe she was just there for like a gap year or something. Falls in love with an Italian man. They both move back to the States. He gets cancer, and she goes through a lot of trial and tribulations with his family to get him the right treatment, and then he dies.
And what was the other movie, From Scratch? What was that one about?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I think it was just so stereotypical, and like, I don't know, maybe this screenplay was inspired by these other movies and it just didn't pull anything new. Like, I just got nothing new from it. Yeah.
I agree with that. Actually, question for you. What part did Oxford specifically play into this? Or was it just like a pretty backdrop to all of this?
Definitely a pretty backdrop. Also just like really fed into a lot of like Anglophile stereotypes, just like, oh, she fell in love with an Oxford professor that loves poetry, and like, oh, he grew up in a castle, Yeah. So I think it being, I guess that's not Oxford specifically, but just like in England, Anglo porn.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there were some aspects that was like, oh, it's Oxford because she's like so smart and ambitious, but also she's chasing her dream of doing like English at Oxford. Like, wow. But then when it came down to it, I don't think anything really fed into their relationship. Like, they had nothing. I mean, sure, they like met because of the class that they were teaching, which, by the way, unclear if it was even like frowned upon that he was dating his student, because like at
Yes.
first it kind of was, but then they weren't trying to hide it at all, and then it was basically a non-issue at the ball that they went to. So like, what was the point?
Oh my God, wait. I think this is a good time to read this Reddit comment because it touches on so many things, but I think it'll set the scene well for our conversation.
Okay.
Okay. This Reddit comment is from the username Soggy Ice Cream Cones.
Nice.
So, Soggy Ice Cream Cones, you make a lot of great points. Title: My Oxford year is so bad.
Nice.
Not to mention the quote-unquote main character in a bad way, girl energy Anna gave. Like, it was so corny, crying face, praying emoji. It also had the cliche friend group, which automatically formed. Like, we didn't really see their connection. Jamie was alright, but he still had the everything is deep energy, sort of.
Yeah.
But I guess it's fine because he was learning Victorian poetry. All the other characters were okay. When I watched it, I could tell it is one of those TikTok book adapted into a movie type things, even though I had no clue and then searched it up. But I guess it was like a little bit the other way around. But anyway, but all things aside, the biggest problem with this movie was the romanticization of student-teacher relationship, which is so problematic. The first time they kiss and Jamie just walks away, I thought maybe, yeah, they would explore this problematic side of the power dynamic. But it was just because he had cancer. There are several people in academia who face sexual harassment from the professors, yet media like My Oxford Year and The Love Hypothesis, which I actually don't know what that is,
That's
never
the
fail
book
to
by
romanticize
Ali
it.
Hazelwood.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've actually never read an Ali Hazelwood book. She's the one that writes the science love books, right? The girls in STEM romance books.
I think so. And now I'm trying to. I think I did read a couple, like the ones that were based in like Caltech or something, right? They went to Caltech.
Oh, maybe. I haven't read them, but every time I see one on the shelf, I'm like, I feel like I'm not gonna like how they portray women in STEM.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I have read her books.
Okay. Do you like how they portray women in STEM, or how she portrays women in STEM?
It's not bad. I would say I did not like that one. I think it was Love Hypothesis or whatever it was. Love Hypothesis,
Mhm.
yeah. I think Love on the Brain, I think I read. And like there is a series of 3 short stories that she put into one about 3, like a friend group, the 3 women there. And I liked those. I don't think Love Hypothesis was that one. Anyway, I agree. I think like just like a huge question mark about the professor student relationship. Maybe it was okay because he wasn't actually a professor.
Yeah. I don't know. Even a TA, I feel like would not have been okay. But
Yeah. And is that like a real problem at Oxford? Who knows? But I agree. I think the power dynamic is a little weird. I understand that it's a fantasy of many women, but there is a power dynamic that should be addressed.
yes.
What was that the rest of was that the
Oh,
rest?
that was the whole comment.
That was the whole comment. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it touched on the friend group, her acting, her energy, and the romanticization of the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can just dive into each of these topics. Like, okay, starting with the friend group. What did you think about the friend group?
It felt very unnatural, I think, her friendship with them. Like, they didn't really hang out that much. The only things we ever heard them talk about was her relationship with this guy. And yeah, like, shouldn't they have been telling her about the ball that they were so excited to go to? You know, just stuff like that. Like, there were so many opportunities to make the friendship seem more natural. And I was like, why are these friends suddenly best friends with Cecilia, who they definitely don't know, right? And yeah, it just felt very unnatural. I also thought they, like, put exceptional effort into making these friends very odd, which I don't know why they did that. But I saw a Reddit comment that also said that. And they were like, maybe it was to make the main character look prettier. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Or to
Yeah,
like to be like, oh, Oxford full of, smart uggos or something.
maybe. I don't
Hmm.
know.
That reminds me, there was that girl, Maggie, who liked the friend Tom, who just happened to have a random women's bicycle just hanging out in his apartment. That's weird. Anyway,
So weird.
beautiful bike, by the way. Um, anyways, so they put this quote in there where Maggie's like all dressed up and she's dancing with some random guy at the ball. And then she was like, "Oh, you can't take your eyes off of Maggie. It's because, wow, that's crazy how it takes a woman to get dressed up and to put on heels for you to notice her." And then he's like, "Yeah, proving her right." I was
Uh-huh.
like,
And
was that supposed to be some kind of feminist quote? Because it did not land that way. It was like, yeah, all you have to do is get dressed up and put on makeup and wear cute shoes in order to get noticed. And I'm like, that's what we're telling people?
take note, women.
Yeah.
My Oxford comma. Oh, my Oxford comma. My Oxford year wants you to know all you have to do is put on a pretty dress.
Yeah. And then everyone else in the friend group was just like obsessed about her looks. They were just like, yeah, Anna, face card never declines, Anna. And then I was like, that can't be all that you see in her.
So strange. Just so strange.
Yeah. Do you think this would have been better as a limited series?
I think it had potential to be better as a limited series. I think it with this quality of writing and this quality of acting, I don't think I would have enjoyed it. Like I'm glad it was over in 2 hours.
Mm,
But I think it had, like the story has potential for a woman that goes abroad, falls in love, and then like it changes the course of her life kind of thing.
mm.
But I do think some things would have needed to change. Like all the very common tropes of Americans in England of like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I just met this guy and he's so rich and he's so sophisticated and smart and grew up in a castle, that kind of thing.
Um, I was confused why she went to the halal cart and was like shocked at the fact that there was a halal cart at Oxford. I was like, you're from Queens, New York.
Yes, literally. Like, why are you learning what halal is right now?
Yeah, or like maybe she didn't because then she made a joke like, "Is that an elephant leg?" Oh, hee hee, I was just joking. And then I was like, "Bitch, you're from Queens. Like, what
Yeah,
the hell? You're literally like home of the halal cart, basically."
literally. If she was trying to make a joke about that, it did not land. It came off like she really just didn't know what this cart was.
Yeah, and very unlike a New Yorker, she did not compare Dimitri's halal cart to the halal carts in New York.
Yes. Yeah, lazy writing.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
was like, are we just supposed to forget about that? Is that not part of her identity? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wonder. Okay, well, now it's a little complicated because I know that the screenplay came before the actual book, but I was thinking they maybe they made her character Latina and then maybe decided to make her be from New York because there are more Latinas in New York than in Ohio. But maybe they just made her Latina in order to introduce some ethnic diversity in the movie because without her and without Bicycle Boy, there is none.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Even then, it wasn't that diverse. But I don't know, maybe that would have been fine because, like, maybe that's how the English department is at Oxford, and maybe it is just very white. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we are the two people in our friend group who did not do study abroad. We were talking about my Oxford year.
That's so true. Okay, yappers who have studied in England, let us know what the ethnic makeup of your class was.
Yappers who have either directly or indirectly observed the English department as at prestigious English universities. Let us know.
I'm sure we have a lot of those.
Yeah, I'm sure we do, honestly. Um, okay, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the overall plot, in that Ana de la Vega is this hyper-focused student who just like wants to do the right thing. I think that's maybe another reason why they made her like immigrant culture, because there's like more on the line about choosing to stay in Oxford versus going back to this fancy Goldman Sachs job. So yeah, so one, did you agree with her choice to put romance over ambition?
I don't know if I even see it as putting romance above ambition. I think it's maybe choosing your passion, or yeah, choosing your passion over choosing financial stability. Because I think the way they showed it was that like he opened up her world and was like, "Don't forget that you used to be a dreamer." And then after that, she realized like, yes, there's so much more to life than making money. Um, in that case, I mean, it's very hard for me to say because I think I grew up in a privileged position where I could afford to think about my passions, and so I did like that she didn't just take this boring job at Goldman Sachs. So honestly, when she was describing it, I was like, this sounds so fucking boring. I would not want to sit there at a desk probably for like 15 hours a day and do this shit. So in that respect, I liked it because I think I am of the opinion that if you're in a position to choose what you want to do, you shouldn't just try to make the most money. But I also know that that comes from a position of privilege. So, yeah. What do you think?
Um, I like that she chose to stay in Oxford. I think I agree with her decision as much as I didn't really like her character. I did find that the decisions that she made were consistent. And I think this is how I feel like the book is super weird because, yeah, I think the movie message is all about how to choose your passion, how to live life for yourself, and live it by your own means. And that's what both Jamie and Anna were doing, right? Jamie was like, I don't want to spend my life, like the rest of my life, the limited time that I have left, in and out of hospital rooms, and I don't want to just like be super like de-energized and just not have any energy to think about things. And like maybe I'll have an extra 2 years to die slowly, but I'd rather have 1 year of really and truly living my life.
Yeah.
And I think that made sense then, that Anna was also living that way. And so I actually like the way that they did the movie ending more so than the book ending. The other difference between the book and the movie is Anna's background. So in the movie, both of her parents are alive, actively involved in her life. They really care about her. But in the book, Eleanor, the main character, Eleanor's father died in a car accident, and his death is a major, plays a major role in how she forms relationships as an adult. So I can see that if Anna in the film has just like a single mom working 2 jobs, how she would just be like, I need this Goldman Sachs job. I cannot afford to live my life in Oxford so many miles away from my family. So I think I would have judged her a little bit more. But the fact that her parents were alive and well, they were good, they didn't seem like they were struggling really that much. It made a lot more sense for her to make that decision.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I think I agree with that. I do think if they had shown her mom as a single mom, but also being like, you need to go follow your passions, like blah, 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 and then she still decided to do that, I would not have judged her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also I wonder why they decided to give her a dad, because I think that could have been a really nice connection point for her and Jamie as well, because he lost his brother.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Also, where did she order that car model kit from? Because she got that real quick. Maybe
Yeah.
DHL. Looked old as fuck too. I'm like, did you just like take this car and box it up?
Take it from his apartment, take it apart, put it in a box.
Yeah. Remember when you did this together? I took it
Do it
apart.
again.
Yeah. Do it again.
I dare you.
Okay, I will also admit I cried a little bit when they went on the European tour, and then it turned out that he had actually died, and so she did it alone, but like was with him in memory. I cried at that a little bit.
Oh,
Got a little
that was
emotional.
sweet.
Yeah. But then at the end, I was like, did they just do that so the film crew could go on a trip to Europe? That's why it took 7 years to make this movie.
Probably.
I was like, they filmed for like 2 seconds in Greece and Italy and France and Amsterdam.
Every day they shoot that one scene and they're like, I don't think we got it. The light's ruined. We gotta try again tomorrow.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? I think we need another like 2 weeks here to really nail the shot. If the roles were reversed and Anna was the one that was sick, do you think the movie would have been written the same way or would have hit the same way?
Wait, so if it was is she still American?
Like
or...
she's, yeah, or like, yeah, like her, sorry. So she's like, she's British. She is the one who like grew up in UK, went to Oxford, blah, blah, blah. And then she got sick. And then Jamie is the visiting student.
Oh, okay. Then I would be like, this shit is just Walk to Remember in another country. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Okay, let me change the question. If the roles were reversed, and Anna, no, not reverse, single reverse. Okay, and Anna is the one who gets sick, but she is the visiting student and Jamie is still the professor. What do you think would happen?
He'd be like, you should stay here because I hear American healthcare is very expensive.
He's like, yeah, you should get that checked out. There's a clinic right there. He's like,
I'm gonna go back to my castle, but you seem fine, so.
They cured that cancer like 20 years ago here in the UK with our free healthcare. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about
Okay, great. Cool. Moving on. When did you like find out that Jamie was sick? Did you suspect it at all?
Okay, I only suspected it right when the movie started because the only other thing I've seen this man in is Queen Charlotte. Have you seen Queen Charlotte?
Oh, yeah.
Where he's also secretly sick.
That's how I know him. Okay.
I was like, I wonder if he's like boxing himself into a certain type of role, because also this is kind of reminding me of Me Before You.
Okay, wait, so when you say when the movie started, it was like credits are over, they show Oxford, and then you're like, that man is sick.
Yo, that man is sick. I think it was like when... No, it might have been the first scene I saw him in, because I really didn't know a lot about this movie, so when he walked into that fish and chips shop, and I was like, this dude is sick! No, yeah, when he walked into the fish and chip shop, I was like, oh, that's Farmer George from Queen Charlotte. I wonder if he's also sick in this one.
Oh, I see. You're like, damn, the way he drove through that puddle is the... Only a sick man could have done that.
Oh, he was the guy who drove through the puddle? Yep, he's sick.
Sick as fuck.
When did you suspect that he was sick?
I think probably like the scene after that. I was like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. And then he's like avoiding all these women, but he's not a player because he's not hitting on this girl that's with him. So, and then she said something like, I can't remember what she said to him at that time, but it was something like, "Oh, are you avoiding them because you're trying not to hurt them," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, this man has an incurable disease, doesn't he?" But I will say, I think the first half of the movie, I was like, I hate this. I'm not really being taken along for the ride about how they're actually falling in love with each other. It kind of just feels like, having sex or whatever. But yeah, then at the end, I did get that tearjerker moment. But I looked it up, and apparently they did a lot of like A/B testing with the ending, which is why the ending is so different than the book.
Interesting.
I will say, I did think the scenes popped on camera.
The travel scenes.
Yeah, like I don't think you could have really written that in the same tearjerker way as you could have visualized it. So I think they chose the medium well.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. I want to talk about that scene where she's standing at the halal cart screaming at him from 20 feet away for some reason instead of walking towards him. And saying that just because something is fleeting doesn't mean it's not meaningful, as people swarm around her at the halal cart. I was like, why is this halal cart suddenly popping off?
Dimitri's like, another day, another dollar. Oh, sorry, another pound.
Yeah, and I was like, why aren't you walking to him? Why are you standing there? Ugh, it felt so forced.
Yeah. It's just more dramatic this way.
Yeah, they really tried. They really tried with the drama.
Yeah. Which character did you relate with the most?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I found any of them very relatable. Maybe Cecilia? And just like being a supportive friend / family member?
I think my issue with Cecilia is that she came off as like kind of mean at first.
She did. She was giving mean girl energy for sure.
Yeah, and then when it was revealed that she was the girlfriend of Eddie, she was like suddenly super nice. I was like, you could have just been nice from the beginning.
I know. Also, okay, back when we didn't know she was Eddie's girlfriend, and that scene where Anna is with that rower dude at the bar, and then Jamie and Cecilia walk in at the bar, and then they're dancing, and I was like, oh, they're dating, because like they were like truly like arms around the shoulders, like super dancing. And then, yeah, obviously we're supposed to think that they're dating, but anyone who would see that would think that they're dating.
Yeah. Oh, another big difference in the book is that Cecilia is actually Eddie's fiance when he dies.
Oh.
Yeah, not just the girlfriend. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, one thing about the rower dude that just sparked. Okay, so from that conversation at the Halloween party, he was like, "Oh, why would I eat this like halal food that's like putting shitty gas into a premium engine or whatever?" And so we're like, "Oh, okay, I guess he's a rower. Like that's pretty cool. Oxford rowing is like a big thing." And then he wasn't even a rower.
Yeah, why was he in the stands? Shouldn't you be on the water, bro?
Yeah, he was just like, "Go Oxford." And I was like, "What?"
You're supposed to be on that boat, sir.
Yeah, and so I didn't know if that was like a joke that he actually wasn't a rower.
I would like to believe that he is like the lowest level of intramural rower, and he takes it that seriously and tries to pretend like he's that important.
That's so funny. You think he's like the Indonesian kid doing aura farming on the boat? He's like that.
No, not him. No, not him. I'm saying he's not even on that team. He's on some lower level, like think Interhouse Sports at Caltech.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like imagine someone from Page House like being like, "Oh, I gotta stay in shape for Interhouse Frisbee."
Okay, that's true. So lame. But then I was like, why didn't Anna just roast him about that? I think it would have been so funny.
Yeah, there are so many opportunities for more interesting dialogue, I thought. Oh, another dialogue part at her birthday party. Well, I guess after her birthday party was over, and then they're like holding hands sweetly by the piano. Then he's like, I'm gonna stick around and hang out with my dad for a bit. Is that okay? And she's like, no. And then he's like, no. And then the scene ends.
I know. She was just like, no. And I was like, oh, I guess that's a funny joke. And then he's like, ha. And then like, I was like, was she not joking? Was he not joking? Am I, like, what is going on here? What is this parallel universe that, like, am I not getting it?
I really thought she was gonna be like, it's not okay, it's required, or something.
Yeah.
But she didn't follow up at all.
I was like, did she short circuit? Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were a lot of moments that just like fell flat. Oh yeah, also when she ran into the room when he and like found out that he was doing chemotherapy, and then he just like was like I would never recover from that.
I feel like you should go sort out your anger issues, and then you can circle back once you've had about 2 to 3 months of anger management class.
Yeah, I would not be okay if anyone yelled at me like that, regardless of the condition that they were in. Oh
that was
my God.
crazy.
It felt like it was more in his character to be like, well, now you know, right? Instead of just being like, get out. That's so scary.
Yeah, I agree. Because then he was like so chill about it, and then told all of her friends at her birthday party.
Yeah, I was like, what? It's so crazy. Yeah. Also, I didn't know that the friends didn't know at that point.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't know that either.
They're just so close, you know?
6 months into their friendship.
Yeah, they just tell each other everything and give each other bikes.
Bikes. We haven't really talked about Jamie's everything is deep energy. I don't know if there's much to say about that, but
I agree. That's kind of it.
Yeah, it was reminiscent of A Walk to Remember, when Mandy Moore's character was like, I can tutor you, but you can't fall in love with me. And then he's like, okay, but then he obviously falls in love with her.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, yeah.
Hey, Mandy
Deep
Moore.
for no reason.
Also from Central Florida.
No way!
Yeah, she went to my sister's middle school.
Cool!
I think the other thing that I had a question mark around, maybe you'll give her a pass, but when they had their first homework assignment and she was supposed to bring a poem to talk about with him, and she picks this poem that's about how there were like man children or something around, and she was like, he's gonna love this. And then she writes that essay about suffragettes and whatever, and then she takes it to him and he's like, you managed to do everything except the assignment. And then she was like, oh, okay, I'll like keep working on it more. I'm like, and he's like, you have to pick something that speaks to you. And I'm like, I feel like as a master's student, like you would know that, but I'm not sure. But I think I don't know if she was trying to do, I mean, this is one of those things where it's like it kind of like doesn't land correctly, and so I don't know if they were trying to do a thing that's like, oh, she picked out a poem about man children because that's what she thinks about him, but then when he talks about it, he's like, oh, you should talk about something that, you know, that you feel a certain way about. And I was like, yeah, she does feel a certain way about it.
What was the assignment again? It was like a poem that says something about you.
Don't ask me.
Okay, let's assume that was the assignment. I can see how, I do think it's a plausible series of events that she's like, oh, I feel such strong feelings about this poem about men. And then he's like, yes, you feel strongly about this poem, but I asked for a poem that says something about you, not what you feel strongly about or something. And then she's like, huh, I shouldn't define myself by how I feel about men. And then she tries again.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how I interpreted it, but I don't know if that's like giving them too much credit or just not being critical enough.
We haven't given them any credit, I would say, so I think we can give them this one.
Okay. You win this round, my Oxford year.
I think the other question that I had was, I was confused why, I didn't know what she studied in undergrad, but I was confused why she was going to Oxford for a master's in English when she had a job at Goldman. I was like, what does Goldman do to give master's Oxford students in poetry a job as a financial analyst? I was confused about that line of thought. But maybe she like did finance in undergrad and then was like, this is my dream.
Yeah,
and then got in that way.
maybe. I guess so. I'm also surprised that they let her like wait a year to start working there.
Yeah, I didn't.
She
I
already
did
had the
not
job
think,
lined up.
did not think that Goldman was that generous,
No, no.
especially in this economy.
Yeah, no investment bank is that generous.
I'm gonna look this up. Does Goldman Sachs allow you to defer job? No, it's take it or leave it. Great, cool, especially for entry-level positions.
Okay, and she only had a bachelor's from Cornell, right? She didn't have any other degrees. So was she like 21 years old?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess so.
She looked way older than that, I thought. And like he's
Yeah.
obviously way older than that. He also looked way older than a PhD student.
Yeah.
How old is Sophia Carlson? Carson?
Yeah, Sophia Carson.
She is 32 years old. Okay.
Hey, she's
that
from
is around-
Florida.
Everybody from Florida. She was born April 10th, 1993.
We're old.
We're old. I mean, we're not pulling off recent college graduate anymore. Milcrease. He is 27 years old. Wow, that is PhD student age.
That's surprising. I thought that he was much older.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
All those beers at the pub.
At the pub. Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, I don't know why they cast a 32-year-old for this role.
Probably because she's pretty.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she is pretty,
Yeah.
but at what cost?
So did you know that have you seen Sophia Carson in other stuff? Oh, okay. Me either. But I think she's like she's like a Disney star as well.
Oh,
So,
Disney star.
yeah, she was in Austin and Alley, and then she was also in The Descendants.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Should we do rating?
Yeah.
Okay. I would give this a 6.
Okay. Another one that you are rating higher than me. I think I
Oh.
would give this a 4.
Whoa.
I truly just wanted it to end. I thought there was very little redeeming about this movie, but I did finish it. So
Well, you had to finish it.
that's true. I had to finish it, but it wasn't so bad that I was like, Ruchi, we can't do this. This is
Yeah.
so bad. You know?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I started off very low, I would say, but I did get very emotional at the scene where they're going international and like
That's
going on the
fair.
tour. And so I was like, well, I had an emotional response to this. So I can't rate it below a 5.
Yeah. That's very
But
fair.
I'm happy with our average rating of 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jing Chen was telling me that there's this like K-drama rating YouTube channel or something, or I don't know, or Instagram or something. And they give 2 ratings. They give one for enjoyment and one for quality. And I was like, oh, if we did that, I think our numbers would be way more aligned on Hunting Wives. Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry. The Hunting Wives.
Yeah, excuse me.
Put some respect on the name.
It's like the SpongeBob the. Do you think we should do it, or should we change our ratings to have quality and enjoyment?
I'm open to it. Should we try it out?
Okay, what would you give this
Okay.
one for quality and enjoyment?
Okay.
Is it out of 10?
Quality. Yeah, let's do
Okay.
out of 10. Or maybe we should do out of 5 and then add it up for a total rating. What do you
Oh, that's a
think?
great idea. Let's do that.
Okay. Okay. I would give quality 2 out of 5 and I would give enjoyment 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. I would give quality, I think I agree. I think 2 out of 5, maybe less. 1.5 out of 5. Maybe less.
Keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna lock in my answer as 1.5 out of 5 for quality. And for enjoyment, I would give it. It's so hard because I didn't really enjoy it, but I did have that one moment. So I don't know how to rank that. 2.5 maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, you ended with a 4. Crazy.
Three out of okay. Maybe my true ranking is a 5 out of 10. So yeah.
Hey, all right. Great.
Yeah.
Heard it here first, folks. Yeah, first.
Yeah, first let us know if this is actually useful for you.
All right. Binge in progress?
Yes. Ooh, I can't wait to tell you about my Binge in progress.
Oh my God, tell me.
I started watching this show, this Korean dating reality show called Better Late Than Single. And it is so cute. It's about these eternal singles. So they're basically like 27 to 30-year-olds who have never dated in their lives. Like they may have gone on dates, but they haven't ever been in a relationship for their entire life. And so they are paired with a mentor or a cupid, and that cupid talks to them about how they want to improve themselves, whether it's through diet and exercise or like seeing a psychiatrist or like working with like a language counselor or any kind of thing like that. They train or they go through like a betterment process for 6 weeks, and then they all go to Jeju, this island in Korea, where they, start the actual dating reality show, and they start to like date each other and like choose each other to go on dates with and everything. And it is so cute. I feel like it's just watching, like, it's kind of like Love on the Spectrum, except no one's on the spectrum. They just are very inexperienced. So they're very book smart about love. And it's really cute to see them
Aw.
figure out how to express themselves and take risks and put themselves out there. It's really cute.
That's so sweet. What
Yeah.
a cute premise.
Yeah. What are you watching?
Won't you know it? I am watching another season of Survivor.
Classic.
I think I'm watching season 39. Let me confirm that. No. What season is this? 35?
I feel like everyone's watching Survivor
yeah.
nowadays.
Oh.
Yeah, my high school friends, Saeed and Amy, they started watching it from the beginning. So they're on season 3.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they're saying that
Crazy.
the dynamic is really different. Wait, did you tell me this? Did you watch the earlier seasons or no?
I haven't watched anything
Oh,
older
okay.
than 16.
Okay, so Amy did tell me this. So Amy was saying that it's really different. The dynamic is different because it's a lot more about the survival skills themselves. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, we can't vote this person out because they're the only ones who know how to make a fire or like cook.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Jing Chen has watched like most Survivor seasons, and she said, well, I guess she did say that. Also that they used to show way more camp life than they do now. And just like general, like what's it like to try to survive in the wild. And then also, now that the game has existed for so long, it's become like super meta and everyone's always talking strategy. Everyone's always trying to like build their resume versus an old survivor, they were just trying to like survive and then vote each other out when they had to, but like less strategy and less like meta thinking.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit more fun, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the mind games.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I confirmed it is Survivor 35 that I am watching. Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers.
Wow, a lot of H words.
Yep. You know? I'm in a weird mood today.
Great, well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging.